Hey guys, this is Jenny Tollison, video 3 for the School of Hard Knocks case. In response to the first question, do I think that the situation undermines the principal's moral authority? I think it absolutely does. I think the superintendent undermined her authority when he suggested what he did, just to kind of sweep things under the rug because he knew or had known Mr. Washington, and I think, he didn't even seem to, by what we know, want to consider the facts or investigate it in any way. I feel like that undermined what Miss Henry's moral authority was, because, she has to consider the, according to what Sir Giovanni says, she has to consider the, the values and considerations of the entire community. That would be not only Mr. Washington, but the students involved, their families, whoever's involved, the teacher. She'd have to consider all of those things and give due process to the situation. So I think it definitely undermined her authority. And then the second question, are there any issues that impede your ability to create a school that serves a true purpose of education as defined by Strike? In listening to Sarah's response, I tend to agree, the way our school system's set up with everything being so standards-based and data-driven and all of that, it's hard to capture those other components. And, when Strike talks about the true purpose of education being for human capital development and the examined life and citizenship and human flourishing, I think that, let's say in an ideal situation, we created a scenario where we could do that. Well, how would you measure it? Once you decide that you have to measure things, I think that's when things start to become kind of cookie cutter, and you lose something in that, because in a data-driven society you have to prove that it works. How do you prove it if you can't give a test? How do you prove it if there's no consistency? So when you're comparing how well people do, you're comparing apples to apples, and so on. So I think that the way I see, people showing evidence of them learning the things that Strike talks about is through the life that they live. But it's hard to capture what they're capable of while they're actually in school, which seems kind of backwards. So I don't know. I feel like I have a lot more questions because of that question than I really have answers. I think it's a loaded question. I think it's, it seems like just so far off from what we're doing. I mean, I think we get some of it, but not the way it seems from what Strike says. So anyway, I look forward to hearing your post.